drug dealer's dream. Stash cream, keys on a triple beam. 500 Estelle Green, 95 nickel gleam. Nickel gleam, nickel gleam, nickel gleam.
Drug dealers dream of customers this loyal. Imagine creating a product people crave emotionally, physically, psychologically, then convincing parents to buy it for their children. That's exactly what candy companies did, and they built one of the most powerful empires on earth doing it. The candy industry isn't just selling sweets, it's selling dopamine, nostalgia, comfort, habit, addiction. And unlike illegal drugs, candy companies can advertise on television, sit inside schools, partner with holidays, and place their products directly in front of children every single day. This is the story of the legal drug empire nobody talks about. If you wanted to build the perfect business, you would want 5 things: cheap ingredients, massive demand, emotional attachment, repeat customers, and global scalability. Candy has all 5. Most candy costs extremely little to manufacture. Sugar, corn syrup, artificial flavoring, food coloring, packaging, all that stuff is cheap. The actual ingredients often only cost pennies. But companies sell emotion, not ingredients. They sell happiness. They sell reward. They sell you comfort and celebration. This is where the real money is. One of the highest profit margin products in movie theaters is candy. Some candies are marked up over 300% to 1,000%. Theaters sometimes make more money from snacks than they do the actual movie tickets. Candy companies also mastered something every business wants: impulse buying. Notice where candy is always located: cash registers, gas stations, airport lines, vending machines, places where people make emotional decisions quickly. That placement is not accidental. It's psychological warfare. The biggest candy empires are arguably dominated by Mars Incorporated, Mondelez International, the Hershey Company, and Nestle. But the scariest part is most people have no idea how much money these companies really make. Mars isn't just a candy company. It's one of the most powerful privately owned businesses on earth, which means they don't need public attention like Apple or Tesla. They're quietly generating tens of billions of dollars. The average person sees a pack of Skittles. Wall Street sees an empire. Mars generates over $40 billion annually across candy, snacks, and pet care divisions. Candy is cheap to make. Most people think candy companies make the money from the volume alone. That's wrong. The real power is margins. But emotional branding allows companies to charge exponentially more. But some critics say the candy industry doesn't just rely on branding. They allegedly relied on coordination. In a major antitrust case, companies including the Hershey Company, Mars, Nestle, they all face allegations of conspiring to raise chocolate prices between the years of 2002 and 2007. The plaintiffs claim consumers paid artificially inflated prices while the companies control roughly 75% of the US chocolate market. Now imagine controlling most of the market then quietly raising prices together.
Get ready to dig deeper into your wallet to satisfy your sweet craving. Hershey's announcing it is raising prices on popular candies across the board. That includes Kit Kat, Reese's Peanut Butter Cups, people love those, and so much more. News Nation's Alicia Nieves is here with more. Alicia, no one wants to hear this. How much of an increase are we talking about?
It's actually pretty significant, and it's not just Hershey's raising their price. We're talking about Lindt Chocolate, Nestle, all saying that consumers are going to see a double-digit price increase. Lindt actually saying more specifically more than 15% increase, and this is after we've already seen a pretty gradual increase in the cost of your average chocolate bar go up. Over the last few years, according to Nielsen IQ, a market research company, the average unit price of a chocolate bar in the U.S. in July of 2021 was $2.43. Now, just last week, the average unit price is up by more than $1, $3.45. That's a 40-something% increase.
That's not just business dominance. That's empire-level power. Look at it simply like this. You and your competitors all join together, and y'all start raising prices. Then they got even more devious. Candy companies started doing something even more grimy. Most consumers notice price increases immediately, but many don't notice smaller portions. So instead of only raising prices, companies quietly reduce sizes. Less chocolate, more air, smaller bags, same emotional attachment, higher margins. I think we all know when you get a bag of chips, there's more air than chips on the inside.
And according to at least one chocolate maker, Hershey's, in some cases, consumers may not actually see a price increase of their favorite chocolate bar, but they may now get less for the same price. This is a practice known as shrinkflation. After the pandemic, we heard a lot about this when it came to potato chip bags, and now we're seeing it in chocolate.
But this is the part that's crazy. When cocoa prices exploded globally, consumers expected candy companies to suffer. Instead, some companies actually improved profit margins. Reports in 2024 show companies like the Hershey Company and Mondelez International passed rising cocoa costs onto consumers while increasing profit margins. Hershey's margins reportedly rose from 15.8% to 16.7%, while Mondelez saw margins jump from 8.6% to 13.8%.
The biggest countries around the world, we usually have that cultural brand in those countries.
And you're able to buy those brands or those companies at a reasonable price and integrate them into your ecosystem?
Yes, that's what we do. That's what we've been doing for years. Of course, that goes sometimes with ups and downs, but overall, I would say that strategy has been really successful for us. Still quite remarkable that despite these high increases in price, the consumer keeps on buying more or less the same quantities of what they bought.
Brand. In that one brand last year, that's up from 2.9 billion just as recently as 2018. Your share of the cookie business is up.
And it's really linked to the channel strategy. So if you go to a grocery store and you buy an Oreo pack for a family of 4 or a family of 6, you want a bigger Oreo pack. So it needs to be available at the right price. But when you're on the go, you're on your own, you don't want a big Oreo pack. You might want 4 Oreos or 8 Oreos. So getting the right packs in the right channels for the right moment at the right price point is an absolute critical part of our strategy. And getting that right is really the key of growth through channels and through packs.
Sure.
Yeah, the inflation is significant. Last year, our cost input was up 12-13%. This year it's going to be the same, and so the reflection of that into pricing is quite important. If you look at what has happened with the consumer in the middle of all this, it hasn't affected our volumes. Our volume growth before this inflationary period was 2-3% a year. It still is 2-3% a year. So before we used to price 1-2% a year, now we're pricing just the last quarter. We priced 16%.
16?
But our overall growth was 19%, 3% volume and 16% pricing.
So in other words, consumers pay more while corporations became more profitable. But they didn't stop there. This is the darkest controversy in the chocolate industry. major lawsuits and investigations have accused large chocolate companies, including Mars Incorporated, Nestle, and the Hershey Company, of benefiting from the cocoa supply chains linked to child labor in West Africa. Of course, these companies have repeatedly stated they oppose these practices and have pledged reforms over the years. But if you think about it, the modern chocolate empire runs on a supply chain most consumers never even see, unless it's Willy Wonka in the Chocolate Factory.
One of America's favorite treats, but a CBS News investigation found the cocoa used by candy giant Mars is harvested by impoverished children in Africa.
Laboring in the blistering heat here as young as 6, slicing the grass with lethal ease, their machetes nearly half the size of the smallest among them. These Ghanaian children are harvesting the cocoa that ends up in America's best-loved chocolates like M&Ms and Snickers, of what it calls their robust monitoring system that keeps them off plantations and in schools.
These high growth numbers at the moment, because despite the price increases, the pricing power of our brands allows us not to lose any volume.